Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of The Prediction Show. I am your host, Joe, the founder, developer, marketer, designer of OddAlerts.com. And on this episode, we are going to be covering the Premier League and some of the EPL as well. We'll be using smart filtering tools to find the games for our selections. And I'm also going to be giving correct score predictions for every single Premier League game this weekend. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start with the Premier League, and it is a away game for Nottingham Forest, who are on a terrible run. Ange Postecoglou now 6 games without a victory, no clean sheets as well. And if you watch the Midtjylland game on Thursday night, I just wanted to show you this from the stats, especially the XG data from set plays. They conceded 2 goals from a corner and a free kick, which resulted in a goal line fumble, really messy stuff. And now they don't really have much time to rectify these issues because they are away at Newcastle on Sunday, so 1 or 2 light training sessions before they head up north. Let's take a look at Bet365 because I have some opinions and potential value on this game. So as I mentioned, no clean sheets for Forest, and they are looking a bit of a mess at the back, especially from set plays. Now, for the new striker Nick Woltamade to have a shot on target, it is 1.33. But I wanted to show you something here. If you scroll down to another market, player-headed shots on target, he is 2.25. He's already shown that he is very, very capable of getting on the end of crosses, free kicks, set pieces, corners. And another little bit of information as well is that Trippier is going to play in this game. Livramento is out for 6 to 8 weeks, and I think Trippier is a much better player in terms of finding Woltamade, especially from those wide areas. Another player that can be a nuisance from set pieces is GW7 Burn, and whilst Woltamade is 1.33 compared to 2.25 for a shot on target or a headed shot on target, the difference is not so great with GW7 Burn. 3.75 for a headed shot on target and 3.25 for a normal shot on target. So for GW7 Burn, I'm going to go with a normal shot on target. He's not had one yet this season, but I am just showing you this in case the calamity that happened for Nottingham Forest last night does continue, because GW7 Burn, he will be in and around that penalty box when those balls come in, and Eddie Howe will have certainly been watching Forest last night. So for this next section, we are going to be using quick filters. We used it in the previous video to great effect. We found a winning double from the EPL. In this episode, I'm actually including 11 competitions. As you can see, we are looking at the Bundesliga, the second Bundesliga, Serie A, Serie B, and as well as the full English pyramid as well. We've got La Liga included, just all of the major leagues plus the EPL. So we're looking at pre-match odds, the away team to score a single goal, 1.5 or higher, and then we're also leaning on the probability model, 55% or higher. Let's click search and see what we get. So one game for today, Friday, as I record this, Getafe away at Osasuna. Let's see how that one goes in the comments. Next 7 days, or actually let's just look at Saturday's fixtures, shall we? We see MK Dons 12:30 kickoff. We've got some games from Serie B, as I mentioned. Let's take a look at some of these fixtures. So straight away, I expect MK Dons Gillingham to be an interesting one, because Gillingham have been doing pretty well this season. We can see they did lose the previous game, but before that, they had been unbeaten since the start of the season. Checking out the tables tab, we can see that only Swindon has scored more away goals than MK Dons and Gillingham this season. And for MK Dons, BTTS has landed in the last 1, 2, 3, 4 games, and they are without a clean sheet in 7 games. Gillingham to get a goal in this one is 1.53. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. Now from Italy, Serie B, the second game in this list. It's ordered by time at the moment, but we will take a look at sorting it by the probability model. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. This one caught my eye because it's first away at 8th. Venezia, of course, coming down from Serie A. They have been keeping things pretty tight in the opening games of the season. 3 clean sheets so far this season, but that one might be worth a look. Away from home, They've only played 3 games so far. They scored 5 in the previous game. You can just take a quick look at the odds movement tool here to see what the price is for an away goal. 1.57. The odds have actually risen in the last week or so. And as we scroll down, we see Bayer Leverkusen on this list for them to concede a goal against Union Berlin. There's been lots of goals in Union Berlin games recently. And then we see one that really is quite interesting. Manchester United against Sunderland. If we're putting together a double from these games, I am quite fancying Sunderland to score away at Manchester United. Let me know what you think, of course, in the comments about this game and about any game that we are going to cover on this episode. For Sunderland to get a goal, it is 1.57. It has dropped from 1.61. In terms of the odds for Manchester United to win this game, it is a peak of 1.55. So the bookmakers very much expecting Manchester United to bounce back from that Brentford defeat. Very inconsistent. We all know about the lack of back-to-back wins for Manchester United in the Premier League under Ruben Amorim. It's pretty terrible, isn't it, really, his record at the moment. But for Sunderland, 1 defeat in 6 games on their return to the Premier League is a very, very good record. So I am going to go with this double 2.4. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'm actually going to show you something that you can do with quick filters now to sort it by the highest probability for an away goal. So you just head back to the filter icon and then you can just simply click on the option that you want to sort by. So we then click search again and we can see that Gillingham actually is still top of the pile and Venezia is also second still, which is pretty good that they were also the first 2 games ordered by time. Then we have AFC Wimbledon away at Blackpool 23rd in the league. Steve Bruce probably on the brink now, although we've been saying that for weeks. Crawley Town. Which one of these games do you fancy most? Leyton Orient to score at Cardiff. I can't say I agree with that. Exeter 19th away at Lincoln City, who are flying at the moment in League One. Oxford away at Watford could be an interesting one. Oxford have scored goals against good opposition this season. They've got 3 against Bristol City, 2 against Leicester, 2 against Coventry. So that was quick filters for away goals. Let's see how it does this weekend. Next up, we're going to take a look at the football form guide and put together some selections for the Premier League. And then I'm going to give you my Premier League correct score predictions for every single game this weekend. So in this section, we're going to check out the football form guide for all 92 Football League teams. You can find this link, this page, this tool in the description. Feel free to check it out. It's free to use. And we can see goals for Brighton have got 20 in their last 6 games. We had them on last week, didn't we, for a second half goal at Chelsea. 1.9 odds for them to get a single second half goal. We used this tool to see that they'd scored a lot of second half goals, and they of course scored 3. And if you're already thinking about it this week, away at Wolves, 1.22 are the odds. So a huge drop. Of course, Wolves a bit of a different opposition to Chelsea. Plymouth also doing pretty well now under Tom Cleverley. They've won 4 of the last 6, scoring 19 in the last 6 games. And incidentally for Brighton, they have seen over 2.5 goals landing in 6 of the last 6. And at the bottom of this list is Sheffield United, 2 goals scored in the last 6 games, taking a little bit longer to get it off the ground under Chris Wilder. Stoke City started the season well, but they were winning a lot of games 1-0. The goals have now dried up, and they've only scored 2 in the last 6. We can scroll up a little bit here because we see Birmingham City away at Wrexham. This is actually on Friday night. Of course, this one was going to be on TV, always Birmingham away at Wrexham. And it is set up well because Wrexham are in a little bit better form now. Only 1 defeat since August in the Championship, but they are still winless at home, whilst Birmingham have failed to score in the last 3 away games. In terms of XG across the EFL, Barnet 2.49 per game. They were big scorers in the National League and they have continued to create chances in League 2. Salford City doing pretty well this season, scoring plenty of goals. Manchester United 2.47 as well. Coventry scoring plenty of goals at the moment under Frank Lampard. Manchester United 2.47. I think you've got to remember that they've had a few penalties, haven't they? Penalties that have been missed by Bruno Fernandes as well. On to BTTS now. We're going to use all this data to put together a selection for Saturday, so just bear with me. Again, link in the description if you want to check out some more metrics. There's so many to go at here, but we are going to look at BTTS now. We can see Barnet 5 out of 6. Chelsea, who are hosting Liverpool. I'm going to have a selection for that in the Discord on Saturday. Chelsea-Liverpool should be a fantastic game. Liverpool coming off the back of a Champions League defeat, of course, at Galatasaray. Quite a surprising result. One of the games that I'm going to cover as well on this selection is Chesterfield-Colchester, because they both appear on this list. They have both seen BTTS landing in 5 of the last 6 games. And finally, we check out second half goals. We can see Brighton are there again. Wrexham are there again. We've mentioned them on the channel this season, both of those teams, and they have both delivered thus far. So let's go for the hat-trick. And we are going to, in this episode, focus on Salford City, who are scoring plenty of goals this season. They are facing Grimsby Town, who are a much more difficult opponent. So maybe a tight start in that game for them to continue their second half goal-scoring run. Let me show you the selection. So here is the selection for Saturday. We have Sheffield Wednesday, Coventry over 2.5 goals. Coventry scoring plenty of goals, and the bookies are expecting them to get more than 1 in this game. I've seen a little bit of a revival from Sheffield Wednesday. Can they get a goal at home? Home games are going to be massive for them this season. Over 2.5 goals is my pick. Then over 1.5 goals in Colchester against Chesterfield. I think the bookies are potentially underestimating Chesterfield a little bit here. They've only lost 2 games this season. Colchester, on the other hand, have not won since early August. And at home, they have conceded in every single game that they have played. And for Salford City, we saw the data. A second half goal for them takes this to 3.46. Let me know what you think, as always, in the comments. What are you on this weekend? Now for my Premier League correct score predictions. So let's go through every game and give some quick fire predictions for a bit of fun here. Bournemouth against Fulham. Bournemouth actually not scoring too many goals as of late, but they are grinding out results because of their superb defence. I think this one will be a tight game. I'm going to go 1-1. And Leeds, Tottenham, I think this will be a good game for Leeds at home. I think Tottenham have begun to show signs that they're not as formidable as maybe they looked in the first few games of the season. I'm going to go with a Tottenham 2-1 win. Maybe Leeds take the lead in that game. Arsenal-West Ham, Nuno's first game as West Ham manager. How much time? Second. He was appointed last weekend, the day before the game, wasn't he? First proper game, shall we say, after a week of training. This could be an interesting game because Nuno is just going to be so different. I don't expect them to get battered as they might have if it was Graham Potter in charge, but I am going to go for a 2-0 win to Arsenal. Just a professional job, get the goals early and then see out the game. Manchester United, Sunderland, we've got Sunderland to score, haven't we? So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw for Manchester United and more pressure on Amorim. Chelsea against Liverpool. You just don't know what to think with Liverpool at this moment in time, but I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for Liverpool. Now on to Sunday, the 5th of October, Newcastle against Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory for Newcastle and more misery for Ange Postecoglou. I just think it's going to take him some more time, maybe over the international break, to really work on the issues at Forest. The issues that he and the owner there have created, to be fair. Everton against Crystal Palace. Can Everton be the team to break the what is now a 19-game unbeaten record for Crystal Palace? Absolutely insane. I think this could be a draw or an Everton win. I think Everton's home games are going to be massive for them this season, and they will relish the chance of playing the FA Cup champions. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Everton. And I don't think many people will agree with me there, but I think this is going to be the game that Palace do lose. Aston Villa, Burnley, I think Villa will come to form in this game. Watkins will score again. I'm going to go 3-0 Aston Villa. Wolves against Brighton. Brighton in superb form at the minute. I think we're going to see another Brighton win. Every time I watch them, I'm more and more impressed. I'm going to go 2-0 to Brighton, and then Brentford Man City at 4:30. Brentford won't play without fear in that game. We saw that in the Manchester United game, but Man City at this moment in time are just too good, I think, for a team like Brentford. I'm going to go 4-0 to Manchester City. Let me know what you think about all these predictions and all the ones from earlier in the video in the comments. Remember to get your comments in, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.